Have you ever wondered how some of the wealthiest people on the planet manage to pay little to no income tax, all while living lives of incredible luxury? It sounds like a secret from a spy movie, but it's a real financial strategy, and it's completely legal. It's a fascinating loophole that revolves around a simple, yet powerful concept: you don't pay taxes on money you borrow. This idea is the core of a strategy often called buy, borrow, die. Let's break down exactly how this works. Imagine a wealthy individual, let's call her Anna. Anna doesn't have a massive salary in the traditional sense. Instead, her wealth is tied up in assets like stocks, real estate, and art. Let's say Anna owns a massive portfolio of stocks worth $1 billion. If she wanted to buy a new yacht or a private jet, the average person might think she'd need to sell some of those stocks to get the cash. But selling assets creates what's called a taxable event. When you sell an asset for more than you paid for it, that profit is a capital gain. And capital gains are taxed, sometimes at a very high rate. If Anna sold $100 million worth of stock to fund her lifestyle, she might owe tens of millions in taxes on the profit. Wealthy individuals like Anna view paying taxes as an unnecessary cost, a financial drag to be avoided at all costs. So, instead of selling, Anna does something much smarter. She goes to a bank and uses her billion-dollar asset portfolio as collateral. She essentially says, "Look at all these valuable things I own. Lend me money against them." The bank, seeing her vast and stable collection of assets, is more than happy to oblige. They'll offer her a loan for a fraction of her portfolio's value, say $100 million, at a very, very low interest rate. This is a key point. Because the loan is secured by such high-quality collateral, the risk for the bank is incredibly low. This allows them to offer interest rates that are far better than any credit card or personal loan an average person could get. Now, Anna has the $100 million she needs. She can buy her yacht, fund her businesses, and live her lavish lifestyle. And the best part? That $100 million is borrowed money. It's a loan. It's not income. It's not a capital gain. Therefore, from a tax perspective, it's completely invisible. She owes zero tax on that cash. She has successfully accessed the value of her assets without actually selling them and triggering a massive tax bill. This is the buy and borrow part of the strategy. First, you buy assets that appreciate in value. Then, you borrow against them. Now you might be thinking, but she has to pay back the loan, right? And what about the interest? Yes, she does. But the interest payments are often minuscule compared to the tax bill she would have faced. Let's say the interest rate is just 2%. On a $100 million loan, that's $2 million a year. That sounds like a lot, but remember, she avoided a potential tax bill of maybe $20 or $30 million. Moreover, her billion-dollar portfolio is still invested and growing. If her assets appreciate by, say, 7% that year, that's a $70 million gain. That gain easily covers the $2 million interest payment and still leaves her far richer than she was before. The value of her assets is growing faster than the cost of her debt. She is effectively using the bank's money to live, while her own money continues to work for her, compounding and growing tax-free. This cycle can be repeated over and over again. As her assets grow in value, she can borrow even more money against them, continually funding her life without ever needing to sell and pay taxes. It's a powerful engine for wealth preservation and growth. The debt piles up, but as long as the value of the assets continues to climb, it's a manageable and highly efficient system. So what about the die part of buy, borrow, die? This is where the strategy gets even more incredible, almost like a magic trick for erasing tax obligations entirely. When Anna eventually passes away, her heirs inherit her entire portfolio of assets. Now, here's the crucial rule: in many tax systems, there's something called a stepped-up basis. This means that for tax purposes, the original purchase price of the assets is stepped up to their fair market value at the time of her death. Let's revisit our example. Suppose Anna originally bought her stocks for $100 million, and now they're worth $1 billion. That's a $900 million unrealized capital gain. If she had sold them, that's the amount she would have been taxed on. But because of the stepped-up basis, when her heirs inherit the portfolio, it's as if they bought the assets for $1 billion on the day she died. The entire $900 million gain is simply wiped away. It's never taxed. Her heirs can then immediately sell a portion of the inherited assets, say $100 million worth, to pay back the loan Anna took out. Since their cost for those assets is now the current market value, there is no capital gain on the sale. They sell for $100 million what they paid $100 million for. The tax bill is zero. The debt is cleared, and the family is left with the remaining $900 million worth of assets, completely free and clear. The generational transfer of wealth happens almost entirely tax-free. The capital gains that accumulated over an entire lifetime are legally and permanently erased from the books. This strategy is a perfect illustration of how the tax system can favor the wealthy. It's not about illegal tax evasion, it's about using the existing rules of the system to your maximum advantage. The rules are written in a way that benefits those who own assets, rather than those who earn a salary. An employee who gets a paycheck has taxes automatically deducted. They have very little control over this. But an individual whose wealth is in assets has a vast menu of options for structuring their finances to minimize their tax burden. They can afford the best lawyers and accountants to navigate these complex rules. This buy, borrow, die strategy is one of the primary reasons you see headlines about billionaires paying a lower effective tax rate than their assistants. It's because their income isn't a salary, it's a carefully managed flow of borrowed funds against appreciating assets. The entire system is designed around the idea of encouraging investment. The tax code provides incentives for people to buy and hold assets. This strategy is simply the ultimate expression of that principle. It's a world away from the financial reality of most people, who rely on W-2 income and have taxes taken out of every paycheck. For them, debt is a burden, not a tool. But for the ultra-rich, debt is transformed into a powerful instrument for accessing wealth, funding life, and ultimately, passing on a fortune without giving a large cut to the tax collector. It's a different set of rules for a different level of the game. Understanding this strategy gives you a glimpse into the hidden mechanics of wealth at the highest levels. It's less about earning money and more about managing assets in the most tax-efficient way possible. If you found this breakdown of the buy, borrow, die strategy interesting and want to learn more about the secrets of finance, make sure to subscribe to my channel, Financial Cake. We peel back the layers on how money really works.